And the big breaking news story is, of course, that I said the breaking news story. These are the reports that are coming to us. Is that Gareth Southgate will stay on as England manager. Joining us now to bring us up to date with the breaking news is talkSPORT football correspondent live. This is right from the hub of where this news has probably come from. Well, he's come home now as Gareth Southgate, but I'm guessing this is where the majority of the news is coming from. It's Qatar, the World Cup. It is the one and only Mr. Alex Crook. Alex, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good evening. Very well. 5 past midnight here in Doha, but still going strong.
Always working, mate. Always working. You're always on. I like it. Talk to me about this, because these are reports from several sources that have been coming into talkSPORT over the last 15 to 20 minutes about Gareth Southgate changing his mind. There was rumours that he might be thinking of something else, but we're being told that he's changed his mind and that he will stay on at least until the Euros in 18 months' time.
Yes, I think it was our colleagues at the Sunday Times who first reported this news early this evening that Gareth Southgate was indeed set to stay on as England manager. We've had that confirmed now at talkSPORT by sources very close to Gareth Southgate. That indeed is his intention. Obviously, he was very down after England had been beaten by France in the quarterfinals here in Qatar. Pretty much admitted to our England correspondent, Faker, others, that maybe he had a big decision to make about his future. That decision has now been made, and he will, we understand, at least stay until the European Championships, which, let's be honest, are only 18 months away, so time isn't really on the FA side. That's when his contract is due to come to an end anyway. He now intends to see out that contract. I think he's done a little bit of soul-searching. I think even coming into the competition, there was a sense from people close to Gareth Southgate that this could well be his last tournament as England manager. But I think he's seen what talent he has at his disposal, how close they were to beating the world champions, the World Cup finalists, France, and he wants to have at least one more tilt at glory. I think it's probably the right decision, because you look at possible replacements, the most likely English names in the frame with those of Eddie Howe and Graham Potter, both of whom are in pretty high-profile Premier League jobs. Certainly in the case of Eddie Howe, I never saw a possibility of him quitting Newcastle. I think Graham Potter has only been at Chelsea for a matter of months. So again, it would be difficult to get him out. Then you bring in the foreign managers, the likes of Mauricio Pochettino. Thomas Tuchel, I'm told, was particularly keen on the job, but it doesn't necessarily sit right with a lot of England fans. The national team is led by a foreign coach. So I think inevitably Gareth Southgate was going to stay, because I don't think he would have wanted to leave the FA and leave this group of players in the lurch.
When was because he's had his contract extended during this tenure, hasn't he? When did that happen?
Yeah, that happened a while ago. That happened before this World Cup, which again did spark criticism in some quarters. I think a few people felt that maybe you should wait and see how England performed out here before making such a commitment. But I think if you look at Gareth Southgate's England career, and listen, I've been one of his harshest critics probably coming into this tournament. I was listening to the guys on the show before you, Jason Cundy and Gabby Agbonlahor, and I think they both agreed with me that maybe he has made mistakes at previous tournaments. I think they should have beaten Croatia in the semi-final 4 years ago. I think they should have won the European Championships. I think Italy were there for the taking, particularly at 1-0 up, and they didn't kick on. I think he made mistakes with his in-game management. I don't think he did a lot wrong for this tournament. It was fine margins against France. If Harry Kane scores the penalty rather than ballooning it over the crossbar, I think he can probably go on and win the game, maybe even go on and win the tournament. So I can't be critical of what Gareth Southgate has done here. There's a shorter than usual turnaround between tournaments because, of course, this is a Winter World Cup. Therefore, you haven't got such a long period before the next European Championships. The players clearly adore him. It's a young squad. It's a squad that have bought into what he wants to do. So I think this is the correct call, not just from Gareth Southgate, but from the FA as well. And actually, I was chatting to David Dean in Doha a couple of days ago, former Arsenal vice chairman, FA ambassador, and he was suggesting to me that when the time comes that Gareth Southgate feels he doesn't want to be the manager anymore, there should be a role within the FA, maybe a sort of technical director role. And I think he's absolutely right.
Alex, do you see Southgate, his tenure going into the next World Cup?
Probably not. In all honesty, because I think if they win the European Championships, and I think you have to see them as one of the favourites when you look at how the European nations have fared at this World Cup, there's not much to scare them, probably with the exception of France. That would be the ideal time to go out on a high. And I think if they come up short again, a fourth major tournament, not many, if any, England managers have taken charge for 4 tournaments. I think he would acknowledge that maybe the time is right to hand over the reins to someone else. What I hope will happen now is that over these next 18 months, the FA and maybe Gareth Southgate, working with them, come up with a contingency plan come up with a succession plan, because there isn't a natural successor at this moment in time. And I think that's why the decision suits both sides.
So sorry, Adam. So what they're saying is that we've got no one in place to fill Gareth's boots, so we're going to keep you in charge, basically.
Well, the FA haven't said anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting a statement from the FA tonight, because they're quite happy with the job that Gareth Southgate has done. So this was never a case of the FA making a call over his future. I think Gareth Southgate, having taken an England team who, let's be honest, in my lifetime have never really got close to winning anything, to taking them to a World Cup semi-final, to the finals of the European Championship, and to the quarterfinals of this World Cup when they came up against probably the best side in the competition. I think he's earned the right to decide his own future. So I don't think there was ever any suggestion that the FA were going to pull the trigger.